As I go through this e-portfolio, it's very important to note that the excerpts are taken from two radically different classroom environments. 568A involved working with a teacher whose emotional commitment to her students was genuine, but in the ways of facilitating learning, there was very little organized or intellectual investment. Therefore, in that situation, I was inspired to bring in quality lessons that challenge students in a variety of ways to which they were not accustomed. In 568B, I currently work with a stealth teacher who possesses a mastery of content, varied strengths of pedagogy and learning theory and activities, and has a committed vision of scaffolding U.S. history for her students that is so specific, so clearly mapped out, that I'm almost in awe. In this situation, I've received the gifts of organization and execution while struggling with gaining a deeper connection to all students and their learning abilities. In other words, these two student teaching experiences have been truly two sides of a coin, one yin, the other yang, on many levels. The excerpts that you will see hope to demonstrate progress that will someday be combined and combine the best aspects of each student teaching experience into my own future classroom environment.
Let's take just a second before we get into the Russian Revolution to talk about revolution. So, in the simplest, more simple form of the word revolution, what does revolution mean? A revolution.
Fight.
What?
Fight.
Fight. You say fight.
A war.
A war.
No, it doesn't. I said that.
Difference. Who said it? Change. Difference of something.
Peace.
Total. What? Peace. You mean peace? It does have many meanings. Revolutions have many meanings, but that central thing that is similar to all of it is a sudden change. A sudden, complete change. You did it. Complete.
Excuse me, ladies.
Do we write that in our
Oh yeah.
Ladies.
Definitely.
Excuse me, ladies.
Yes.
Excuse me, ladies.
Yes.
Do you hear that?
It's silence.
You hear it?
Yes. No.
Wait.
I hear it.
Do you hear that?
No. Yes.
You don't hear it? Let's
Yes.
try.
Yes.
Watch. Just wait. Do you hear that?
Yes.
Yes, you do hear it. You do. What is that?
Silence.
What is that?
Silence.
What is it?
Silence.
Excuse you. What is it?
Silence.
I can't hear you.
Silence.
Miss Paez, I'm talking to you too. What is it?
Silence. You can't hear.
Shut your mouth. Close your mouth.
So we're going to, just before we get into the Russian Revolution, we're going to look at some of the major revolutions that we've looked at in this class so far in world history. And we'll see that they do mean a sudden change, but they have a little difference between them. There's one that happened, started in 1776. Yes.
The American Revolution.
American Revolution, that's right. American Revolution. Sort of one major, we're going to look at one major one in each century. American Revolution.
Draw that?
I would suggest it. I think it's great because it helps you draw connections to the American Revolution, 1700. I do it in your notes, yeah. You can do it on the same page. Just make sure this is all interrelated to each other. Okay. Now, there's a second one in the 1800s that we've looked at in depth. The Revolution. We did, yeah, with the French Revolution, but there was another one I'm trying to get you at that wasn't related to war. Started in England. Industrial Revolution, that's right. So that's 1700s, 1800s. In the 1900s, what we're going to look at today is the what? I know, this is crazy. It's terrible. You can spell it over there. I'm going to use a different pen.
That smells like fart.
It's like, oh, this one's better. Okay. I'm going to put this one with the lid on it way over here.
That's why I think I have to sneeze.
It has ink that works really good though. All right. What are we going to look at today? Which revolution are we looking at today?
Russian. French.
Now today we're going to look at Russia. Today we will look at Russia. Russian Revolution. And that's the 1900s. We're in the 2000s. Can you think of any massive change that we're in the middle of right now trying to figure out?
The economy?
The economy? Well, I'll tell you, you guys have an example of this revolution. Let's see. Zelda has one on her desk. Daisy has one on her desk. Julissa has phones.
Woo! What? This thing.
World Trade.
Something smells really bad.
Is that
It was not marker.
Is that marker?
Marker.
It smells like sticky feet.
It's just
Yeah. It's not mine.
It's not mine.
It's I guess it was the next one.
technology.
Yes! Yes, that's it. That's it. Digital technology. Digital technology revolution. I mean, I'll tell you this right now, and my program, they talk about, they're like, hey, education is in this major shift because of digital technology. People aren't quite sure how much should be of your learning should be online, how much you should be using media in education, how much should you still be using paper. It's like, we're really in the middle of a revolution and of digital and technical advancement, and we're all trying to figure that out, how to balance it. You know? And there's something about like social media. We've talked about this, Ms. Klein and I've talked about it with some of the issues that go on with you guys, like the revolution of social media. It's been incredible because it connects people. It connects people. You can talk to people from far away, stay in touch, but it's got unintended consequences because it creates problems too. People use that to create conflict with each other. And how do you balance that? So that's sort of a revolution that we're in. So, okay, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. How old is that? You two, these two rows, you guys are going to talk about my goal here as a teacher, aside from learning while I'm up here. I'll probably be making mistakes, and you will make mistakes. That's all part of the learning process. But, you know, I want to just remind you some of the ground rules that we do when we're working. We're going to kind of explore this one idea for the next hour, hour and a half. We're going to have a little fun, play some games at the end, and do some math work in the middle of that. But just a reminder that when, you know, like the first motivation thing that I'm going to do, we're going to sort of open-ended questions. So when after we do this warm-up, I'm going to hand it out to you right now. You know, I'll ask you a few questions, and so whenever someone's talking, someone is offering their opinion, just make sure that we're all quiet while I'm talking or while that person is expressing their opinion, so we can all hear each other and you hear each other's thoughts, okay? So the idea, when we sort of touched on this idea last week, was this idea of manifest destiny. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and we'll talk about whether it's like a simple idea in your mind or a complex one. And I'm wondering if anybody has sort of an idea, a memory of what we started talking about, what manifest destiny is.
I wasn't here, but I think it's like when you take over.
When you take over?
Or you like get into power.
Get into power? That's a really, really great start. Yeah. Country that goes from coast to coast. A country that has power. Yes? That's it? Yeah, how about you, Ron?
I was going to say, because like, you know, she said at one time when it felt like it was their job to expand all the way from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
That's right. All of you guys, everything you just said, it relates right to this idea. It was really an idea that Americans have this right and this destiny to expand all the way across. And my question to you guys today is, do you think that that's something very simple that you can do, or are there complexities involved? Yes, brother.
I think it's actually very complex, because how would they cross everything, like the mountains and then the rivers, and then like, what if there were already people there who did want to expand and fought back?
Yep.
And then what if, one country had already claimed that territory and just refused to give it up?
Right. That's exactly, yeah, and yes, you want to add to that. You guys have so much to say. This is great. Yes.
It's also difficult because you don't know what the terrain is like moving from coast to coast. You don't know if
The terrain.
it's good here.
Right, right. This was really complex stuff. You know, and there were two. Did you want to add one more thing?
Sure, yeah.
Seems
like a simple idea, but it's really complex. It's getting information in messages across posts can be really hard to coordinate with. Also, buying all those lands, all the different territories for different.
Very good. And remember, there was, as one of the complexities, as you remember, there were people that were living on these lands that didn't think about land as from a perspective of ownership. They lived there as the land was as much a part of them as their breath and their air and their food. And so it's people's different ideas of what land means that gets it to be very complex. So you guys have actually answered the question I wanted to go over with you at the end, but these are really good input that you guys are giving. So
Next, I'm going to show two examples of group work, noting aspects of both that demonstrate progress and need for improvement. Being the social animals that we are, I love utilizing group investigations so that students can interrelate, talk, agree, disagree, etc. This honors the sociocultural and social constructivist theories, especially in ways of encouraging students to move beyond their zones of proximal development. The second model of group work here better demonstrates my commitment to identifying student skills, their prior knowledge, and monitoring student progress.
So there are basically four figures that are left blank. The first one is modeled. It's modeled as an example to show you sort of how the spiritual reforms of transcendentalism and the Second Great Awakening started this era of reform. The second person on the left is the one about abolition and the movement to end slavery, and that we'll be looking at later. So we'll be concentrating on the four on the right side. If you were sitting, so this is the configuration of your desk area. This work is going to be broken down in four sections of the textbook: 18.3, 18.4, 18.6, 18.7. So for example, let's see. Matthew, you will be 18.7. Jason, 18.6. Stephanie, 18.3, and so on. Okay, does that make sense? Sophia, you'll be 18.7.
What would I be?
What would you be? You'd be 18.3.
Oh, I see.
And Rose will be 18.6, okay?
So I'll be 18.3.
Yes. So you will each... That's right. For the groups, I'll talk to you guys. We'll help you out. For the groups that only have 3. Okay. So
Wait, you should 18.4?
yes.
Okay,
So you can see, yes. Riley's 8.7.
Can you say I'm saying
Okay. So let me explain what you're going to do for the... Let me get your attention, guys. Okay. Okay, I'm going to wait for all the side chatter to stop because I want to explain this so that you guys know where you're going. The next 15 minutes, you take your section and you're going to read about it, and you are going to fill out this section. Feel free to go beyond the placard and the skirt. You can write down here if you are running out of room. But for example, if you're 18.6, these are an image of the scales, meaning equality. So you would be doing 18.6 and women's rights for equal rights. You will create a small slogan right there for your placard as if you were going to a protest. And in bullet form, you can put it right here. Bullet form, you can list out what the conditions were before the movement. For example, for women, what were the conditions and their challenges? And then who were the leaders of the movement? And you'll write that down. So use bullet forms, and you'll each do your individual one right now for about 15 minutes. And then when you're finished with that, we're all going to teach each other the different sections, okay?
we're only filling out the last design, or are we filling out the leaders and one?
Yeah, all the way down. So that's your figure. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Yes. which section they take. Take a look at that.
Wait, which one is me?
Seneca Falls is a little. Exactly. Do you care? Do you think you should let them, or do you try to stop them? So you guys can determine if you think England should let them go ahead and have that little bit of aggression, or should they do something to stop it? So look up that Munich map, then you'll learn. Okay, you want to do one more? I have a question over here. That'll be good. Is that you cool? During World War I, that's fantastic. So, what did Germany look like? Well, Germany got punished horribly after the First World War, right? So, what would that look like? The streets, the people.
There was a bunch of unemployment and death and people starving. And they were rugged. Yeah, there's a bunch of debris. That's nice. Yeah, you got a bunch of broken buildings.
That's fantastic. So, what's your question? Yeah, so you mentioned. Yeah, so draw an image of the revolution. That was a private question. Good. So during. What is your question? Yeah. Okay, maybe he's worried about Hitler. I think he's worried about Hitler and yeah, you can do that. Oh yes, and Alicia, did you read researching Hitler's Okay, that's good. I just need some close-ups so they can hear me and talk. Okay, that's cool. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, how are you guys doing? Belgium, Netherlands?
Nice. We're trying to figure out the question. That's what we're like. So he's saying why Germany trying to invade?
Oh, I thought Poland.
No, right here.
Look at that. Remember, Poland didn't exist before the First World War. They created it. When they created it, they just so guess what Germany was? And they want this back. Like remember I was saying, this was a farmland. Like they need that farmland. So they wanted. Why would they want that? Because they're closer to
They want all the land back. They were bigger.
They were bigger. That's right. So they want it back. You just, that's it. That's it. You're on it. You're on it. So now you guys have to draw a picture though. Who's your artist?
And you're our artist.